Hello everyone, Larry here. Hey, for 30 years, I was a high school chemistry teacher, mostly at Mount McGill High School in Spring Valley, California, part of San Diego County. And every year at holiday time, I did two things in keeping with the spirit of the season. One is I would create a chemist version of a tree for the holiday season. The chemistry. And the other was the last day of school, typically, before the winter break, is I'd share with my students what I called the traditional Christmas reading. It was a long-standing tradition, and often former students would come back to campus that day just to hear it one more time. I've had a lot of requests by former students to do a video of the Christmas reading, but I needed an audience, and recently I did it for the San Diego section of the Marine Technology Society. And so what I'm going to do is to share that reading. The Christmas reading incorporates the names of many of the chemical elements, but I don't think you have to be a knowledgeable chemist if you look at the screen. It's pretty good fun. And I had a little trouble with my computer that evening, but it's worth a look. Here it goes. It's the best I've got right now. I think you'll like it. The Christmas reading, the traditional Christmas reading.
In a little back street of San Diego, we find chemistry teacher Ebenezer Nordell in a mercurial joy, counting his silver and gold. Praise Odymium, he shouts, as he paws through the fees he's collected from students so clumsy they've broken their thermometers. Ebenezer is so mean that if a student is overcome by one of those titanium chemistry tests, he never stops to be a good Samaritan. Instead, he calls in one of the vice principal's coppers and has him platinum. Are there no workhouses, no prisons, no after-school detention halls, he often asks. In the chemical preparation room, poor rubidium crotchet, the lab technician, washes dishes in cold water. Rub, a graduate of Berkelium Collegium in California, is no Einsteinian. But he's not sodium either. And he does tend right to business all the time. It's 6 o'clock on Christmas Eve, and Rob asks to go home early. We've got a lot of gallium, replied Ebenezer. I'll be francium, but fermium. Half neem a day's work, half neem a day's pay. That's all right, Rob returned. I'm antimony anyway. Later that night, Ebenezer awoke to see the ghostly face of his departed colleague, Jacob Smallwood, who ironically looked worse in life. Io died neon to 3 years ago, and since then I've had to go out each night trudging around, carrying these Arstein chemistry tests that are as heavy as lead. Bend your ways. Thus the ghost spoke and then departed. That was strange and very turbium, thought Ebenezer as he dozed off. Later, another ghost that looked a bit like St. Nicholas came to wake Ebenezer. He grabbed the ghost by the sleeve and rode him off into Christmas past. They flew all over europium, francium, polonium, germanium, looking for old girlfriends that Ebenezer knew when he was in the Armesium Armed Forces. There was fluorine and ruthenium and a couple of great scandium blondes. They dined on stuffed boron fried rice, garnished with erbiums from India. Very tantalizing. Well, as they were feasting and flirting and fooling, as only the young and silly can, it occurred that being a mean old chemistry teacher is the greatest occupation in the world. Unfortunately, the jolly old ghost scolded Ebenezer for acting him up and took him home again. Then, just as his dreams were getting mildly pleasant, the most preposterous apparition of all appeared and carried Ebenezer off to view all sorts of ugly things which might come to pass. First he saw Molly B. Denham, that scavenging sign of the subculture, coming out of the unscrupulous undertaking firm of Cesium and Barium. The undertaking firm, Cesium and Barium. Then, off to Rough Crotchet's hovel, where poor tiny Tin lay crippled, with his legs thorium and no way to helium. He was sulfuring and zinking into greater agony. Oh, what a cat he had, declared Ebenezer, and with that he awoke a new and nobilium man. He put on a radiant smile and swore, from Xenon, never to give a crippling chemistry test to Tiny Tin or anyone else. Lithium and agile. With manga in his heart, Ebenezer sprang from bed, took out a neodymium to call the doctor, took over and look at Tiny Tin's legs and, well, cure him. Tin was Tellurium with joy and said, bless everyone, even mean old chemistry teachers.